Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're doing more Magic the Gathering. I'm on this site that I absolutely love. It is a beta. There are a lot of things to it. I'm going to show off one of my decks here in a second, but I really wanted to keep on showing you the benefits of this thing. Again, it's free, and that's the big thing for me. I want things that are free. You have cut two basic looks. They may come up with some later. You have a darker look, a light look. I keep it bright because I want to keep alert. But at nighttime I will make it more dark. But under decks here, so again, you can program your entire library in here for free. So I do not have my entire library programmed yet, but I have most of them. 6,485 entries is what I have right now. And again, that's not how many cards I have. I have, let's just say that's more like 17,000 to 20,000 or more. I can't remember what I had in the program. I used to use a program called Magic Workstation, but it stopped a while ago, and I got to the point where I had to program everything in by hand. And then so I started searching online for other programs, and then I found some like apps for your phone that you scan, but there was one that cost money, and then another one, I mean, you actually have to buy space. And then there's another one where it scans, but the scanner sucks. Guys, you don't have to buy space here. You just basically type in a card like cancel. I use this one all the time because I want to show you, all the different cancels it brings up. You pick the card, you type in how many number of it you have. Is it a foil or is it not? What language? Is it mint or not? You can choose I have not chosen to mint myself. Are there tags you want to do? And you create it. Also, you type in cancel for the filter to see how many you have. Type this in. And I show this in my other videos. These are all my cancels I have. So it's really a great program. Again, it's free, and that's what's important to me. See here, what was it? Let's go to decks here. I'll show you this view first. So this is a mono deck. I showed this in another video that I just made. It's a mono blue. It's a common deck only with the exception of the commander. But there's another view, so go to decks up here. Go to my folders, or my folder, and you can make folders. I have a common deck here. This is where I put all my common decks, although I have my hexproof deck out here. This is my EDH Commander 1 vs 1, EDH Commander 3-headed Giant. This is my EDH Commander All Out Brawl. And then my standard 60 card decks. And you can make as many decks as you possibly want. Plus, you can put as many cards in your library or entries as you want for absolutely free. This is a beta. I do wonder if it's set later on if there'll actually be a cost to this for those people coming in. So I highly recommend subscribe as quickly as you possibly can. I want to show off 3 other features over here. You do have a playlist here, so you can do a little test game, see how things run. We'll go ahead and jump back here. You have a shop. Those of you that want to shop, Card Kingdom, TCG Player, see here, card holders, which I think are digital cards. You can go there. I don't do digital cards, but let's see here. Let's go up here to stats. It shows you the stats of the cards as well. So you have the type of cards you have in here. I have 53 creatures in this deck. I have 34 lands in this deck. Instances, sorceries, yeah. And you can see the mana curve. Most of my mana only cost me about 2. And the others are 3 or 4. So that's why I have so little mana in there. Let's go ahead and I'll show you off this deck. So this deck, I have to fix something. So our friends got together and they said, oh, they thought this card could be used as a commander. Apparently it cannot be. We didn't notice it right offhand. It's a legendary creature when it's flipped only, so it can't actually be your commander. But right now it's here, so I'm showing it off. Basically, these are my 33 common lands there, or basic lands. I also put this land in here. Land +2. Mana pool. Activate this only if you control 5 more islands. So it was a great deck to put in here. I'm looking for a card to replace this, but you'll notice that when you have something that's illegal in here, that's why I wanted to show this deck off to you guys, it pops up red. I noticed in other decks I made, I had more than one card in there that was the same card. And in Commander, you can't do that. So, let's see here. Let's go ahead have this artifact. This is a mill deck, so I have to find a way of drawing a whole bunch of cards. I have not yet really figured out everything I'm going to do with that, but over here, I'll go through this here. This card here is whenever you draw a card, target opponent puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into the graveyard. If there are if they're both non-land cards that share a color, repeat this process. I also can pay 6, draw a card, and discard a card. I don't know why I want to pay that much. I would probably have to be in like big trouble. I do want to point out this card how I'm getting pissed with social politic bullshit. They're now saying his or her. Why aren't you just saying player, you stupid morons? Gender bullshit. Anyway, moving on. See here. Then I have a whole bunch of this card, so I just want to add in here. Whenever you draw a card, you may have target player put the top card of his or her library into the graveyard. So it would have worked really great with this. Draw a card every turn. Again, I'm looking for a replacement card for that commander. I also have this. Whenever a permanent deals damage to you, return it to the owner's hand. That gets really annoying. People in a 6 versus 1, they decide I'm not entirely sure I want to attack Ben right now. Because it's going to open me up to damage from everybody. So, this is not a common deck. This is actually a normal deck. That's right. This one here is counter spell if you control more creatures than that spell's controller. And this deck, you will see I have a lot of creatures. I have 52 creatures in here. Another counter spell. Actually, this is a cancel and negate. Over here is when this creature enters the battlefield, return target instance or sorcery from the graveyard to your hand. There's a purpose for this spell. This one here is landfall. Whatever a land enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into the graveyard. This is a mill deck. Defender. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may return an instance or a sorcery card from the graveyard to your hand. There is a purpose behind this. Target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into the graveyard. You'll notice there are 47 of these cards in here. Yes, this is a card. If you continue reading, wrong card. If you tap 4 of these cards you control, target player puts the top 12 cards of his library into his graveyard. And then at the bottom it says, a deck can have any number of cards named this card. Okay, so I love this card. Well, I won't say I love this card. I've always wanted to have a deck like this, so this is the card. This is the deck that I'm doing it with. So, moving on to the next card here, Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets a 1/1 until the end of the turn. When this creature enters the battlefield, return target instance or sorcery card from the graveyard to your hand. You notice how I have several of those cards? There's a reason. Let's go down to the last creature card here is pay 2, sacrifice this, return target instant or sorcery card from the graveyard to your hand. Alright, let's go over here. Call to mind, return target instant or sorcery from the graveyard to your hand. I'm noticing something here. Let's look at this card. Target player puts the top X cards of his or her graveyard. Let me read that again. Target player puts the top X cards from his or her library into the graveyard, where X is the number of lands you control. Hey, that might be a card that I want to return to my hand over and over again, especially if I have a lot of land. I can be very annoying, and I can normally be annoying when I'm having fun. Alright, let's go to the next card here. There it is. Return target instance or sorcery card from the graveyard to your hand. Exile this sorcery. So I can only use it once, but you know what? That's fine. A kicker. Cost 4 to kick, but each opponent mills 8 cards. If this spell was kicked instead, each opponent mills half their library. Do you think this is a card I want to return to my hand? Hell yes. Alright, I also have this card, Reclaim. Return target instance or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Yes. And then finally, the card that this was actually a new card This was actually a new card I added recently since the Rise of Zena card, I think is what it's called. This is the card it was built for. Was target player puts the top half of his or her library rounded down into the graveyard. And I wanted to play that over and over again. But this is even better. Why? It costs technically 4/6, one more, but it's every opponent. So right now, I think I want to see here. So it's going to be some searching for this card, but I have other ways to mill people. But this is primary for multiple players. We're talking about 1 versus 6 players, or 1 versus 5 other players. Anyway, with that, guys, we are done with this. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to do more Magic the Gathering things here. I've been doing a lot of Star Trek Online. I'm kind of pulling back from that a little bit because they're putting so much gender politics in all their stupid episodes, and they're going things around disgracery, and man, I can ramble on about this forever. With that, guys, we are done. Please, again, don't forget to subscribe, like, share with friends. I'll catch you all out there.